pọ́njú bàbá tí kò kí ń já ní kulẹ̀ olùgbèjà ọba ìyanu mo fi ọ́ ṣe bàbá. 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 Ṣe olùgbèjà. Alágbàgbọ́ tó lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ kúrò nínú ọ̀fìn. Lord, I worship you. You were my savior, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, oh. Worship Baba. I love you, oh. Yeah. I feel Lord, I make you my Lord, my Father, my defender. Hey, oh. Mo fi ọ́ ṣe bàbá, yeah. Yeah. Ọba mi ajá má fi ti bọ́ ṣe, yeah. Mo fi ọ́ ṣe bàbá.
Happy return of that day. Long life and prosperity. Hooray! 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 S-U-N.
Inú mi dùn gan lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní pé ọjọ́ òní ṣojú ẹ̀mí náà àti àwọn náà we really thank God because it's special birthday very special and we thank God for what God has done, what God has been doing and what is down today. I really appreciate God for His faithfulness because at times when your birthday, because it's not about the serere but about giving thanks to the Almighty God because He's so faithful. Like you are alive. That is just the thanks, the aspect. So I really appreciate His life. For Him being alive, it's a great thing God has done for us. So happy. And the children. Thank God for the children because they are growing. Thank God for the grace of God upon their lives. We don't even expect this today, but it was just like, okay, something must happen. Thank God for Toyi, thank God for Tope, thank God for Tolu, thank God for Toby, thank God for Tosin. They are all wonderful children. I pray that we will see their children in the name of Jesus. I pray that you will be alive to witness many more years in Jesus' name. I pray I will be alive to witness many more years to testify to the glory of God. To say that they will there's no one like His faith. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. Pé ọjọ́ ẹ̀yẹ wọn, ọjọ́ nǹkan rere wọn pọ̀ ní lọ pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká fi ṣẹ́jú kan dúró fún ọ. We want to be alive. We will be alive and to witness many more years.
Hey, 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 hey. Nígbà tí kò sí ọ̀rẹ́ o.
Lafenwa. I was born in 1949, precisely July 29, in a town called program in eastern region of Ghana. And I attended AME Zion School for my primary education. In our time, we have what is called the middle school. So I attended Anglican Middle School. It's one of the famous middle school in that town during that particular time of the year. After that, I proceeded to the famous government technical college in the town in the northern part of Ghana called Tamale. I remember vividly when we took the entrance, we were about 750 students who took that particular entrance. But by the grace of God, we were only 26. I remember, I still remember. That was 1960. I think that was 1965, yeah. Yeah, that was 1965. All the 26 of us were given a automatic scholarship, I remember, by then Ghana government. After completing that school, I also went to one of the best African school as at that time. That school is called Takwa School of Mines. In that school, we have countries like Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Morocco. So we are actually it was an international school, which it was a 4 years program, and we were there also with scholarship. Even I remember vividly in that school we were being paid every month. Yes, I remember we were being given 18 cedis, 18 Ghana cedis every month, which I were being given at that time. After that, in 1969, the Aliens Compliance Order came. I was in school by that time because I left that school in 1971. Precisely, I think it was on October. I finished in October. But in 1969, the Aliens Compliance Order came in Ghana, which my parents came back home. When they came back home, they left me in Ghana schooling. After completing that course, we were 11 of us was selected to proceed to, as at that time, that school was called Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi. I was lucky to be one of the 11 students which was admitted. But unfortunately, I've never been to Nigeria before, so I decided to come back home, to come and see where my parents live. So when I came back, I saw that the situation was very tense. So I decided to take an appointment. That is how well I decided to stay in Lagos to take an appointment, to take care of my parents, my siblings, and so forth and so on. That is a little bit the background of my life. Thank you. The very person I can remember is called Amankwa. Amankwa was a very naughty boy. Very, very, very naughty. Very, very naughty. But he was the only son of his mom. But along the line, he's always in my bunk, 24/7. From class, he would come to my bunk. From dining, he would come to my bunk. In fact, everybody thought we were twins because he just loved me, just like that. But unfortunately, by the time we get to 300, he failed. So it was a sad news for me. His mother just took him to the US, and he was enrolled in Florida academy, one of the best academy in Florida. So Asamoah became a pilot at a very, very tender age. Very tender age. Before I left Fatakwa, he used to write me. He used to write me. We used to communicate. In fact, he showed me when he was graduating. I think it was a 2 or 3. No, it was a 3 years course. And when he graduated, his mother went, and I was privileged to see his photograph when he graduated. So, but when I came back to Lagos, we communicated for a while, but unfortunately we just lost contact. That is one of my best friends I can remember, because Asamoah was a very, 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 very good fellow in my life. Yes, he was a comforter, he was a roommate, he was a friend, he was everything to me. But somehow, he just dropped. But he became a pilot at a very, very tender age. Yes, that is the only guy I can still remember. I went to the famous Takwa School of Mines. I read mining. But later on, mining is divided into a lot of places. I read mechanical aspect of the mining. We went to do the crane, the maintenance, the repairs, and everything of the equipment. And it was a lot of subjects. It was we read the survey, we did planning, it was a lot. It was a package. It was a package, and it was a 4 years. It's a 4 years program. And anybody who go to Takwa School of Mines who read mining should be able to do survey. Should be able to do survey too, because in mining, you have to survey where you can get the point. We call it the point. We call it point. You have to survey before you can so that you go straight to where you can get your gold, the diamond, and whatever you want to get. So that is part of my course that I did there. My first employment in Nigeria is Federal Ministry of Mines and Power. They call it Federal Ministry of Mines and Power. During the era of General Yakubu Gowon, Nigeria was Nigerian as at that time. I think when I came, I wrote that application. Within 2 weeks, I was offered an employment. I think I worked there for about roughly 6 months. Then I resigned. When I resigned, I went to Federal Institute of Industrial Research in Oshodi. From there, I think Oshodi, I spent about 3 months. When I left there, I went to the Nigerian Railways. It was there I worked for a very longer time. I think for almost 6 years or so. In Nigeria, I had a lot of fun. We were about 4. Oh yes, we were about 4 who were doing that particular job. We travel, we do this. So I really enjoyed it. From there, I resigned and came back to Ilorin. Then I work in a company called Philip Morris in Ilorin. In 1984, I took a leave. Then I established my own enterprises in 1984. In 1984, I just took a break. I said, look, I have enough of all these salary job. Then I started my own enterprising. I went into refrigerator parts. Then I went into refrigerator parts, selling gas. We have different type of gas, F12, F22, ammonium, and so forth and so on. Later on, I add the parts. That is the compressor, the dryer, the condenser, evaporator, and so forth and so on. And as you have it, I started growing bit by bit, until finally, I decided that I will change again. You know, I am an adventurous. You see, I am an adventurous. I'm not a stagnant human being. That is how God actually created me. Any business I'm doing and I see I am not satisfied with that particular business, I've just dump it and move on to another business. Now I am a merchant in juice. I'm a distributor of a lot of companies. I represent a lot of companies such as Guinness, Nigerian breweries, international breweries, so on and so on, you know, in abundance. So I thank God now that I can call myself a merchant of juice. Yes, I can call myself a merchant of juice. Very soon, by the grace of God, I'm going to open my headquarters so that people will see what I have done in life. My children will see, my grandchildren will see, and my children yet unborn, they will see what their grandfather, their grandfather have actually achieved in life. Thank you. I met my spouse luckily through a friend. I don't know her. I've not seen her, but we were going to somewhere in my car. As at that time, I was using 504. The number is, I still remember the number. The number is ODP 231. OD 231P. I remember very fine 504. Fully aircon as at that time. So along the line, he saw my wife. Then I asked him, do you know this guy? He said yes. So we just stopped and she called him, being that my friend knows her. So when she saw my friend, she just ran to him and they talked. So we now asked her, where is she going? He said she was going to somewhere, we will pick her. So we dropped her. Along the line, I took interest in her. And she was very, very pompous, very proud. Very, very proud. Very, very, very proud. So after dropping her, we went to our own way. When we were coming, fortunately, she too has finished what she came to that place to do. So she was looking for a cab to take her home. And we saw her again. So I took the advantage of picking her to know where she was staying. So when I knew the house, but my friend now asked me, do I like the guy? I said, I like her. He said, again, we have not seen you. Have just money. I like her. He said, that was the beginning. So in the morning, the following day in the morning, she just saw me in the house. She greeted me. We greeted her. Actually, that was how the whole thing started. Gradually, one thing led to another, and before we get acquainted to ourselves, from acquaintance, we get very closer until God says Amen. to it. You know, when we met ourselves, you know, my wife is just like an Oimbo, to be precise. She has a very long hair, very long hair, very beautiful, very radiant, very. When you see my wife when she was very young, every man would like to have her as a wife, you know, and she always composed herself very well in public. Those are the qualities she had that attracted her to me. You see, and is not a person who is loose. What I mean by who is loose, that when you see her, you can see that he has a good home training, very good home training. When she tells you this is what you want and this is what you like, when you see her, you'll be able to justify the points she gives you. So those are the part of the qualities she had, and she's very cool-headed. Despite her beauty, despite her everything, she's very cool-headed, and she's ready to assist in every way. You see her look. When you see her look, you think she's another human being entirely. But when you get very closer to you, she's what the Yorubas call Omale, which is her. So that is why I say, you are my, you are my friend. And as God will have it, we traveled together. She contributed a lot to the business I was doing. She brought a lot of ideas, and anytime I apply that particular ideas, it works. So that is part of the qualification she had as at that time that made me to stick to her, that it worked in my friend. So those are the qualities he had. Precisely, we started the boyfriend-girlfriend attitude in 1985, late 1985. By February 1986, she asked me to go and see her parents. I went there. We saw the parents. We went to Rubadan. We went to Adokiti. Precisely by say March, April, everything was sound. Everything was sound. And you know, in those days, when you see me, there's no girl who will see me who said, no, only fair boy. So precisely, it was in April 1986. It was in precisely 1986. My parents went there. They asked her for the marriage. They asked the parents for the marriage. Precisely, it was in April 1986. Well, we got married in my wife's hometown, and the town is called Osi Ekiti. That's where we got married. Oh, by the grace of God, we have 5. We have 3 girls, 2 boys. Lovely and pleasant children that God has blessed us with. Precisely, Tony was born in Can I remember? All my children were born in Ilorin here. All of them. I did not feel any, but maybe by my background or where I was born, I love what is called education. I love education, and all my children, I send them to good schools. All the five went to St. Joseph Nursery and Primary School. All of them. But later part, some also they went to another schools. But all of them there's none of my children, the five of them, all of them passed through St. Joseph Nursery and Primary School. As at then, during that time, St. Joseph was the best primary and nursery school in town as at that time. So all of them went there. And by the glory of God, their secondary schools too was not bad. Some went to university secondary school, some went to federal government girls college, some federal government boys college, and so forth and so on. I was fortunate. God actually blessed me to send them to very good schools. Thank you. You see, they are all peculiar children. They are all peculiar children. But in somebody's life, there are some temptations here and there. My prayer was that, especially those girls, my prayer was none of them would be pregnant, wise in school. It was the order of the day. But to the glory of God, none of them were pregnant. All of them, they graduated very well. Doing read French. The junior one read law, and so forth and so on. So I thank God. I'm proud of them. I'm very, very proud of them. Christmas and New Year, we celebrate it normal. We don't actually travel because my business doesn't allow me to travel. But I sell what people use to celebrate. So in Christmas, even I go to shop because these are what people will use to celebrate. So if I sit down at home on the Christmas day, who is coming after the Christmas? Who coming to buy? Nobody. You see, when anything you are doing in life, where God puts you, that is the key. That is the most important thing in life. Where God puts you, you must be able to make judicious use of that place. Are you getting me? Because the drinks, I sell drinks now, and drinks are being used for celebration. Christmas is a celebration. So if I sit down at home after Christmas, who's going to buy it? Nobody. So I go to shop, but by and large, I thank God. I thank God. Memorable experience when I was traveling is when I was selling fridge. When I was selling fridge, I'll go to I have a boss, total boss as a then. I'll travel to Lagos, buy goods. I'll come back in the night. I will offload the goods early in the morning. By 7 o'clock, I've gone back. So averagely, I go to Lagos about 4 times in a week. I travel about 4 times in a week. And each time, Each time I go, so it makes me to be very, very energetic, very agile, right from my days. When it comes to business, I don't joke with it. I don't joke with it at all because my life depends on business. To feed my children, my wife, anything I want to do is this. So I don't joke with that. So traveling was part of my life. Traveling, and in those days, this transfer of money, buying this and buy this was not like this. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. So I travel a lot and I enjoy it. And by the grace of God, I have never had one single accident, to the glory of God. So I thank God for that. Oh, in my spare time, I like wrestling. Oh, I like wrestling. It is my game. It is my sport. It is where I derive enjoyment from. So in my spare time, I sit down in my living room watching wrestling. I am addicted. I am addicted to it. So when I'm speaking, I've never been to US before, but I can tell you how New York looks like, the street you see in New York. I can tell you so many in London, in Australia. It's not that I've been there. I've not been there because of the newspapers I read. So I can tell you. I remember vividly when my daughter Toyin was, I think they were in Alliance Française. During the course of their studies, they were asked some certain questions in that Alliance Française. All of them did not know it. Toyin phoned me. I remember vividly. When he phoned me, he asked me that particular question. Immediately, I told her. When he now replied, when he now answered that question, all of them were very, very, very amazed. That is the essence of it. Newspaper brings you enlightenment. It allows you to see what is beyond you. That is the essence of it. So I am addicted to newspaper. And the paper I do read always is the Nigerian Tribune. I read other paper, but my core paper is Nigerian Tribune. So that makes me to know. I can be telling you, you see, papers allow you to speak about politics. You'll be speaking politics as if you are dead. No, you are not dead. But because of the paper you continue reading, it's enlightening you. Newspapers brings enlightenment. It brings joy. You can speak anywhere, and you know somebody is speaking. So those are part of the things I do at my leisure time. I'm a liberal man. Very, very liberal. At the moment, I'm a Christian, devoted Christian, but I don't criticize. It's not part of me to criticize, because only God knows. Only God knows. Nobody can judge. You don't have to judge somebody. I personally, I hate it. This is not part of my life to say that Christian is good and Muslim is not good. No. I do my own Christianity in a polished way. I'm a Christian to the core. So that is what I do. in my religion. I don't criticize. Oh, I thank you for asking me that wonderful questions. You know, in life, you can plan with your academic excellence. You can plan that this is what you do, this is what you achieve, this is what you are doing. But along the line, you find out that it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So in life, you continue praying. You continue experimenting things of life. But I thank God that whatever good you do, you don't expect that particular person whom you did good to repay you. No. If you go on that line, you'll be highly disappointed. But just do good and leave it. Because as I'm talking to you now, I'm one of the victims of expecting person that do good to repay me back. But when that person does, because you see, a human being, you are not an island. A human being is not an island. A woman being is not an island at all. You can have 99,000, but you need 100,000. 99,000 is not 100,000. You need somebody to support you with that 1,000. But if that person failed, God does not send that person to you. So you just leave it and pray to your God. Miraculously, somebody whom you don't know will bring that 1,000 to you. That is how life is. And life is full of ups and downs. You know, you do this, you fail today. You do this, you get up. But keep on pressing. Keep on pressing. The Lord Almighty God will smile on you one day. But in life, it's not good to put all your eggs in one basket. No, you don't do that. A sensible person don't behave like that. You sit down, you bisect what you want to do. You diagnose it, and you pick out the best. And in life, when you want to make friends, you see, I'm talking from my own personal experience. I don't move with failures. I don't move with failures. That has been my life. I will never befriend somebody who cannot impact an atom into my life. No. I may be wrong, but that is how God. When I see that you cannot impact an atom into my life, I won't befriend you. Always you tell me, Lamas, thank you. Tomorrow, Lamas, thank you. Enjoy Mary, Lamas, thank you. When will I also tell you thank you? That is how life is. When you thank me 10 times, I should be able to thank you 2 times. But you continue thanking me. Why? Because I'm also a human being. I will need you along the line. So I tell my own children, anybody who cannot invest an atom into your life, you leave that person. So I thank God. That's how life is. I thank God. I've imparted a lot. Into people's life, which I can testify that I did this to this, I do this to this, I do this to this. That is part of life. So I thank you very much.
There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. A beautiful day.